Hi everybody, Jeremy here from GoPro Studio, and today I'm gonna share with you how to export a video with a transparent background in Davinci Resolve. Let's check it out. Alright, so in Davinci Resolve right now on the edit page, and I would like to export this timer right here with a transparent background. Basically, you might want to do that if you want to export a video to use in OBS when you're streaming, when you want to have like a title overlay or things like that. We need a video file. Or for example, if you know you're gonna reuse an asset multiple times, it could be nice to just render it and have a video file that you can just drag and drop and that is already rendered. Or if you need to use an asset from Davinci Resolve to import it in, for example, Final Cut or Premiere because you're working on another project with someone else, you can do that by having a video export with the alpha channel, which basically allow you to have some transparency. To do that, you need to make sure that you have a title that already got some transparency. So that will be the case of any of your title in your title library. Any of those are made, obviously, so you can just take them, drag them on top of a clip, and then basically they will, appear on top of the clip with some transparency. So any of those will work, or most likely any other composition that you've made in Fusion. So right now, if we go over to Fusion to make sure that you have some transparency, if you see the checker right here, that means that you have some transparency. If you have a black background, you need to make sure that here, for example, in the background, the alpha channel is brought to 0. So right here, as you can see, the alpha channel is 1. So we have a solid black background. You want, when you do your composition, to make sure that it's just brought down to 0. So now you have full transparency. Or you can just, as I show you, have a clip below it, and now you show that, what you're gonna export have the transparency. Now that is, we will basically export a similar version of a PNG file if you're familiar with it. Now that is clear, let's check it out how to do it in the delivery page. First off, I'm just gonna delete this because I want to have basically a clean background. I just want to have the title and that's it. So then we're gonna go over to the delivery page, and here you have a couple of options to export. So first off, we're just gonna rename here 5-minute timer. And I'm just gonna select somewhere on my computer to export it here in the desktop. Save, I'm not gonna do it because I've already done the export. I'll show you in a minute. Make sure that the only thing that you have in your timeline is the title that you try to export or the asset that you try to export. Then for the export setting, you can go down here to format and you can select QuickTime. And my favorite codec to use is Apple ProRes. If you're on Mac, that's definitely the codec that I will recommend because the file size is considerably lower than other options, and also just it's optimized for Mac. And type here, that's where the magic happens. But don't worry, in a second I will show you also what's the best option for Windows. So here, that's where the magic happens with type. Basically, you want to select here Apple ProRes 4444, and it will just give you one checkbox right here, export alpha. It basically exports the alpha channel and give you that transparency that we want to get. So you just select that export, and then you can just add to render queue. It will just ask you where you want to export. Hit save, and then you can just render your clip, and you will have your final video with the transparency. Now, if you're on Windows, in my opinion, the best option is to select here GoPro Cineform, and here select RGB 16-bit, and you can just tick again export alpha, and you can export that as well. This is also the kind of setting that you want to use if you plan on using this video in OBS. This setting will not work for Final Cut. So for Final Cut, you will need to export with ProRes, and for OBS, you will need to export with GoPro Cineform RGB 16-bit. There is also other codecs you can use here, for example, DNxHR. You can then select, for example, here 444 12-bit, and you have the possibility to export the alpha channel as well. But that's not the one that I will recommend because the file size are huge. To give you a file size comparison, with Apple ProRes, I'm around 3 GB. With GoPro Cineform, I'm around 10 GB, and for here DNxHR, I'm around 80 GB. Anyway, you can try out different codecs and types to see what makes more sense in terms of size, quality, and what match with the software that you're using or where you plan on using this video. The only thing that matters is that here you have the option to export the alpha channel. For example, here it is if I'm selecting DNxHD, as you can see, we've lost the possibility to have the alpha channel. So that's the only thing that matters, just export with alpha channel. So I've just exported the 5-minute timer.move. Now you can just drag it and drop it directly on your timeline. And as you can see, you got the transparency and it's working perfectly fine. I hope this video was helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you in the next one. Bye! Speed up your workflow and create better videos using the pack available on our website, including titles, transition and templates, but only for Davinci Resolve. Get started today by downloading our free starter pack containing a compilation of 20 titles curated from our library. Link in the description below or at videoeditorstudio.com.